welcome to Critical and... Oh wait, no, this isn't Critical and Cynical, isn't it? Welcome back to TV Recap, and I brought Brandon in for this one. Brandon, how you doing? You alright? You ready for Knight Rider?
Yeah, I really liked, there was only 12 episodes, right?
What?
Okay! So...
Is this not the reboot?
Oh no, this is... We're on episode 3 for Knight Rider. And I think we should address one of the elephants in the room about the Knight Rider movie being made. It's gonna be with John Cena. Man who cannot act. And who's gonna play KITT? Kevin Hart. The least British and least subtle individual I know.
But it's gonna be funny!
They're going off that whole 21 Jump Street, Baywatch, like rebooting all these old classic stuff. So, we talked about it in like the first episode how we wanted to.
I wanted a Knight Rider movie. Don't want it to be like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good. Look at Chips. That was great.
You want Chips in the
want to be an action comedy?
It's
going to be an action comedy.
Want it to be like bring back kind of like Mission Impossible style.
Action comedy.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna show Brandon. This is your first time seeing a Knight Rider episode?
Yeah, I saw the reboot. That's it.
Okay, you're gonna see our first true Knight Rider episode. So we'll be back on TV Recap. So the episode is a good day at White Castle. I mean, a good day at White Rock.
I mean, White Castle. He's been eating a lot of cheeseburgers in this episode.
We'll get into that. But Brandon, you just saw a first real episode of Knight Rider. What did you think?
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, I can see John Cena.
What about Kevin Hart?
Anyway, let's not talk about the future train wreck. This one is basically Knight Rider meets Mad Max. You also brought up the comparison to Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, so they saw Smokey and the Bandit. It just came out probably, and they're like, let's make Smokey and the Bandit. That's popular.
That's basically it. It's like Smokey and the Bandit, Knight Rider, and Mad Max Fury Road because Michael Knight's gonna be taking on. He's gonna be taking on bikers. So it starts off. He starts off going after this cocaine dealership, and he stops this cocaine dealer who is probably the worst actor we've ever seen. Oh no, it's like $4 million of coke right there.
Oh, $4 million worth of coke there. How dare you?
It's like, it was just bravo.
Why didn't this get an Emmy?
I don't know. I loved it so much. But anyway, he goes to Devon. And he's eating in a fancy restaurant, and Michael Knight orders the first of 2 cheeseburgers. That's basically his favorite meal. And you said this reminded you of something with David Hasselhoff.
The David Hasselhoff video of him trying in the hotel bathtub eating a cheeseburger.
He's like, I want another one. And they're like, stop it, you gotta not go, I want another one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that's actually just David Hasselhoff requesting a cheeseburger.
Well, he gets like a cheeseburger and fries and like
a Coke.
A Coke.
And but anyway, he wants time off, and he's going to the town of White Rock to do some rock climbing. And this kind of confuses KITT, who doesn't get the concept of a vacation. They're playing word games in the car, and KITT doesn't really get why you need rest or what is rest. He knows so many.
He's a machine though, so obviously machines don't know that much except for KITT who wants to know more.
Right. So they arrive at this town, and they go to another pit stop where
hold up. You want to talk about the town? It's Hill Valley.
Oh yeah, the town, White Rock, is Hill Valley from Back to the Future, and you can tell
also Gremlins. And the town is Gremlins as well.
And you can tell they don't show it, but you can tell that across from it is the clock tower, because he goes to like this diner, which is the diner from Back to the Future, and he meets Sherry.
Oh yeah, Sherry Benson, who's Lockhart.
Yeah. And Anna Lockhart's done a few voice roles and stuff like that.
Lawford Disney though.
Lawford Disney, she did additional voices for Little Mermaid. And Michael Knight gets his second cheeseburger. He just has this thing, and then there's this, when you meet Davy, the little Davy boy, who's not as annoying as the first kid from the first episode.
He's stupid.
We'll get to that. He's gonna drive. He asks Michael to drive him in front of his frenemy's house to show off that he's in this car.
He just gets beat up.
But we'll get to that. But there's a moment I want to say where where Davey is like commenting, man, this thing is she's so beautiful, because he's talking in the car, and Michael Knight's looking at the girl like, yeah, she is.
We have to clarify the fact that they're brother and sister, Davey and Sherry.
Michael drives Davey to this little twerp's house, because this little twerp is proud of his brother Lonnie's van. And so they drop him off, and Michael Knight sees, like as Brandon said, the Davey gets beat up instantly. And Michael makes a U-turn to go, an illegal U-turn to go to beat up. And when he's pulling them apart, you see the little twerp's brother Lonnie. Now Lonnie is like this Burt Reynolds looking guy with the little mustache and the cowboy hat.
Nearly as much chest hair as David Hasselhoff, so they instantly disagree.
Like literally one of the many references to Smokey and the Bandit. Like they reference like that a lot.
They do reference it. And so Lonnie and Michael Knight instantly start to pick a fight. The sheriff shows up. He's like a peace enforcer, and Victoria. And we don't really like the sheriff in this because he's always like his catchphrase is, "It takes two to make an argument." And so Michael Knight basically gets the blame for this, even though he did nothing wrong. Michael Knight is like has to get a ticket and everything, and he goes on his merry way to go rock climbing. Meanwhile, this biker gang comes into town, and Lonnie makes a snide comment at them, and they decide, hey, let's teach him a lesson. And they beat up Lonnie's prize car, and it looks like Lonnie's about to cry. And we had to stop and think that we were laughing so hard because it just sounded like he was gonna go. He's like, no. He didn't make any sound, but it looks like sound should have been coming because he was like,
it's so funny.
And
that was
it was probably the best moment in the whole movie. Just Lonnie's reaction. It's like we were making jokes, I guess, and Lonnie realizing he had nothing left to live for, took out a gun and shot him. But no, he comes back in the episode at the very end. Apparently a good guy all of a sudden. But Michael is rock climbing, and also KITT has an encounter with a dog where the dog's about to pee on him.
And then he tells him, he's like, go away.
And he scares the dog away, and he makes a sad comment like, oh, that's supposed to be man's best friend. The bikers go to Davey's sister's restaurant. They're all basically sexually harassing
They drink all their beer.
And then the cops come.
And the sheriff comes, and he's just like, you found a nice burger joint. Here, have a six-pack and just go on your way.
It takes two to make an argument.
It takes two to make an argument. And so they don't get in trouble, and Davey's disturbed by all this, though he somehow teleports to the top of the mountain that he teleports to the top of the mountain that Michael's climbing, and tells him about the situation. And Michael goes to talk to Sherry about the situation. And meanwhile, the biker who's really like sniffing her hair and all that, shows up, and he tries to break into KITT. And
he tries to bring in a KITT, and the door handle, it doesn't read his fingerprints or something like that. But then when Michael Knight does it, he was like messing with him, so he kept like opening it, and then he's like, it's a little jam when you stick it in, and then he like doesn't. He's like, oh, wise
He
guy.
gets mad, pulls a knife on it.
And he goes, I'm Scorpion.
yeah, they have a knife.
Like the lamest slut fight.
Like this biker tries to kill him, and then all the other bikers come up and they're attacking the car, like trying to break it, but it doesn't do anything because KITT's indestructible and all that. But then the sheriff comes, and Michael's like, "Thank you for helping us." Handcuffs. Takes two to make an argument.
Go to commercial.
So he's basically this sheriff guy is the dumbest character who just thinks basically that you can let them do whatever you want out of fear. Basically. So Michael Knight's in prison for the second time in the series. He escaped. The kid is impounded, but of course, because it's KITT, he escapes the car lot, and Michael Knight also escapes from the jail cell. Michael decides to go investigate what the gang is up to, right? Or did we miss anything?
Yeah, no, you're right. He goes to investigate the gang, and the gang's plan is to destroy the town, similar to what Blazing Saddles was a little bit.
It's not destroy the town. There's an incoming biker gang, and they're gonna
gang war
fight.
How are they gonna destroy the town,
They're
Brandon?
gonna stab each other in a parking lot.
Michael discovers this, and
in the worst disguise.
he takes everyone wears plaid in this episode. Like Michael,
All the good guys
all
wear
the
plaid.
yeah, and so Michael takes he takes a random jacket and a headband, and Brandon was pointing out
It's the worst disguise ever, and they think he's just because they interact with him. They think he's just one of them. They don't even know.
they don't notice the
Yeah,
plaid.
I don't notice the plaid on
In
him.
fact, he's the only one who wears sleeves.
And the thing is, when Michael leaves, he fails to notice that Davey, being the little dumb person as Brandon put it, is there. And then all of a sudden, one of the bikers catches on. It's like, hey, look who's here! It's a little baby brother. And so they tie up Davey to a tree.
With one,
They put one rope around him, just go once around, and just leave it there.
and I think he just gave
Davey's
up at
fine
that
with
point.
it too.
And he just sat there. He just like, cause we cut back. There's a part where
They just tie him up. They don't do anything to him, and Davey
he
doesn't care.
just sits there. He's like, I'm just gonna sit here.
But anyway, Michael goes back to the town and he gets Sherry on his side, and they tell the sheriff that they try to explain to the sheriff they need to save the town. The sheriff's like, shouldn't believe you. It's your fault for everything. But
it takes two to make an argument.
he actually doesn't say it that much, but that's all we remember him saying. But anyway, they convince the sheriff to help out. And Michael and Sherry show up, and there's Davey tied to a tree. Like Brandon said, doesn't look like he cares. And with KITT, this action scene occurs where they're spinning around, and they're knocking people off, and they quickly just get it. Oh,
There's a bunch of references again that we go back to with Smokey and the Bandit. One is right before they go and get Davey back. She says like, I'll just stay in the car because it worked in Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
And then when they get Davey and they're doing that whole like running around heist thing, they pull another thing where they jump in the car. Not a reference to that, but a reference to Dukes of Hazzard, where they're just like.
And so they get Davey back, like literally just pull the rope across, and he's free. And they take him. There's a big car chase. People are flying all over the place. They're tripping. They're falling into lakes. And there's a big shot where KITT flies over this little lake, and they escape. A lot of the bikers are down, and then they're coming back into the neighborhood, Lonnie's neighborhood, and the sheriff and Lonnie have a big rope. And the bikers just, they get knocked down.
And they don't get knocked out, they just get knocked off their bikes, and it's too much for them, I guess. They just give up.
And so what happens is the other biker group comes into town, and then the sheriff, Michael, and all the good guys, they put out the first biker group's motorcycles over the place, and the sheriff has a shotgun. It's like, this is what happened to the last group. Do you want to join them, or do you want to head into town? And so they're just like,
Maybe they wanted a cheeseburger, but then again, they ran out.
yeah, so they left, and the town is safe thanks to
David Hasselhoff!
and the Powerpuff Girls. And then the episode ends where they're back. Michael's at Devin's again and asks for more vacation time. Devin's like,
Devin's eating a cheeseburger.
I think Devin's eating a cheese. He has fries for sure. And so the first time Devin scoffed at the idea of a cheeseburger. But
I
anyway,
was eating escargot.
he's eating escargot the first time. But anyway, so Michael goes back to KITT, and inside KITT is Sherry.
Ew. That was very perfect.
I didn't know how to say it.
Inside kid was Sherry. Whoa.
But anyway, Sherry and Michael are making out as KITT drives them away.
She makes a joke, and then the episode ends, and then we never see her again.
Probably. The actress does show up again, but as a completely different character. My theory is that all these characters that encounter Michael Knight just reincarnate into different beings to torment him or something like that.
It's purgatory for him.
It's purgatory for him. I don't know. He really did die. All that it just.
He
did die.
get shot, and then he just came back, and now it's all purgatory for him.
Also, St. Elsewhere universe, I believe it's the St. Elsewhere universe, so
But
doesn't matter.
Didn't you make a joke? Didn't you make a joke at one point about when they were attacking Lonnie's car, like this is a hate crime for KITT?
Yeah.
Well, I really like this. I know Tori said it's not as good as the first one, but I thoroughly enjoy. Minus the sheriff stuff, which that got annoying because that character was stupid. I had lots of fun with this one, like all the Smokey and the Bandit references. We made some Dukes of Hazzard jokes, and the epic sadness of Lonnie at the death of his poor fan. We had so much fun with that scene.
That was fun.
I am looking forward to do more of True Knight Rider episodes, and just remember these good ones aside from what is that movie.
I'm Kevin Hop. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm
Kevin Hart. Let's go, lad.
Well, see you guys on the next TV recap. Anything you want to say, Brandon?
It's John Cena!